We are live.
Okay, straight to. I call our BZA meeting to order and ask that everyone please silence your cell phones. Let's stand for the pledge of allegiance. Allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. I would like to introduce Jake Bond. Jake, thanks for joining us this evening, and welcome to Berlin Township here. Heard good things about you from Kathy. Ask the zoning clerk to please read the roll.
Sure. Don Sutton,
Here.
Jason Acevedo, Brad Cook,
Here.
Michelle Cook,
Here.
Larry Harmon,
Here.
Quinn Mackin,
Here.
and Jessica Kinsley.
Here.
Thank you. And I would ask that our guests, if you signed in today, thank you. And if you do plan on giving testimony at this time, would you please stand and be sworn in?
Do you solemnly swear to testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? Thank you.
Thank you. So this evening, we're here to hear BZA case 23-001, request by Tuesday Homes, 475 Metro Place South, Suite 200, Dublin, Ohio, 43017. The applicant is requesting a conditional use permit for a model home with parking lot, parcel number 4183100106800, 2598 McKenna Drive, lot 3361, plus or minus 0.296 acres in the subdivision known as Navy Meadows. Am I pronouncing that correctly? Navy. So tonight we have a request for conditional use, and I'm looking in the zoning book, and I believe I have the right section, section 11, planned residential district. And we would be looking at section 11.06, conditional use. I would ask that the zoning clerk at this time read the exhibits that were provided into the record.
Sure. The original file exhibits, Exhibit 1, application for conditional use for model home parking lot, Multi Homes of Ohio, LLC, 475 Metro Park South, Suite, Dublin, Ohio, 43017, dated 1/10/23, submitted 2/10/2023. Number 2, letter to Don Sutton, Berlin Township Zoning Appeals Chairman, regarding a request for conditional use permit for model home parking lot with 1 to 6 points, letter not dated 1/6/2023, 2 pages, submitted with application filed 2/10/2023. 3, property information for parcel 418-310-01-068-000, legal description for containing the 2 lots where the model and parking will be located, 11/17 zoning exhibit plan, 5 pages, submitted with application filed 2/10/2023. Exhibit 4, 8/14 Mauve Meadows zoning description and zoning exhibit Mauve Meadows for lots 3361 and 3362, 2 pages, submitted with application filed 2/10/2023. Exhibit 5, 11/17 plat plan of lot 3361, 2598 McKenna Drive, plat plan lot 3362 parking lot, plat plan of the model home and parking lot side by side, lots 3361 and 3362, 3 pages, submitted with application filed 2/10/2023. Exhibit 6, 11/17 plat plan, lot and houses number, Meg Meadows, 1 page, submitted with application file 2/10/2023. Exhibit 7, 11/17 final plat of Meg Meadows, 4 pages, submitted with application file 2/10/2023. Exhibit 8, 11/17 of landscape plan for model home, lot 3361 and parking lot 3362, submitted with application file 2/10/2023. Hold on just a minute. Sorry. Shoot, which one was I on? 8, okay. Exhibit 8, 11/17 of landscape plan for model home, lot 3361 and parking, lot 3362, submitted with application file 2/10/2023. Exhibit 9, 11/17 color model home, different signage with specifications, 1 page, submitted with application file 2/10/2023. Exhibit 10, color photos of lighting examples for Meg Meadows model/parking lot with specifications and heights, not dated, 7 pages, submitted with application file 2/10/2023. Exhibit 11, aerial view of surrounding property owners within 300 feet and addresses, dated 3/9/2023. Exhibit 12, request of publication in the Delaware Gazette via email, dated 3/9/2023. Exhibit 13, notice of hearing to applicant with proof of mailing, dated 3/20/2023. Exhibit 14, letter to adjunct property owners with proof of mailing, dated 3/20/2023. Exhibit 15, which is the final exhibit, proof of publication in the Delaware Gazette, dated 3/15/2023.
Thank you, Lisa. We also have a letter provided by the fire department. I would like to enter this as exhibit number 16. Do you have a copy of it?
I don't think that I do. Jake, do we have any extra copies for the file? 16.
Yep, and then I'll tag it here.
Excellent.
Okay, thank you. So at this time, I'd ask our applicant if you could stand and state your name and then go ahead and tell us a little bit about the model home that you're requesting. Sure.
My name is Joe Van Herk, and I'm with Pulte Homes. And Pulte is submitting a conditional use application for a sales office within the model home number building in Meg Meadows.
Thank you. So you provided in Exhibit 2 a letter that addresses the questions in our conditional use. I'll just go ahead and read that for everyone. So it's section 11.06 conditional use. Model homes and subdivisions, the same being defined as a residential type structure used as a sales offices by builders/developers and to display the builder/developer's product. The same may be furnished within, since its purpose is to display to prospective buyers, the builders/developers, features such as exterior siding treatment, roofing materials, interior trim, moldings, floor coverings, etc. In the environment of a completed home, model homes may be staffed by the builder/developer sales force. Model homes shall be the subject to the following restrictions. So now, just go through these and get your response on each. So the first item is lighting. All exterior lighting except for security lighting must be down lighting so that no light shall be cast onto adjoining residential properties. All off-street parking areas must be eliminated. All exterior lighting except for security lighting shall be extinguished at the time of the closing time of the model home. So I believe in exhibit here. Exhibit 10, you list your lighting that you plan on using. If you can
That's right.
just explain to the board here how that does meet this requirement.
So the model is, home that will eventually be a home occupied by a buyer at some point in time. So the features on the home are the features that will continue on with the home. So the, at the front entrance of the garage will be a coach light. And then in the parking lot area, we are replicating the lamp post. And then if needed for security reasons, there will be lights mounted above the first floor level down there. So today, the intent is to have the coach lights and lamp posts be the lighting for the mall.
Yeah, thank you. Are there questions from the board on the lighting? Okay. The next item is parking. All model homes shall provide off-street paved parking for the public. Such off-street paved parking shall be located as directed by the Board of Zoning Appeals. The number of required parking spaces shall be 6 per model home. Driveway of the model home may be utilized for not more than 2 parking spaces. And you have your response here, as well as an exhibit that shows it.
Yes.
One of you have already found the numbers. Exhibit number 4. Any questions from the board? Okay. Number 3 is screening and trash receptacles. Landscape drawing shall be provided, or shall be required to show adequate landscaping and screening from the adjoining residential lots, together with the clear marking boundaries in the model home lot. Trash receptacles shall be provided around the model home for use by visitors. And I believe I saw on your landscape plan that you call out the
Trash receptacle?
So exhibit 8 does show, it looks like there are 2 trash receptacles. One would be near the parking lot and one walking into the model.
I believe it's just the one near the connection of the parking lot to the walkway to the mall.
Yeah. Any questions from the board, landscaping or trash receptacles? Okay. The next is termination of use. The use of the model homes within a residential subdivision or within any single phase of a multi-phase subdivision shall be terminated after 5 years from its opening date or when building permits have been issued for 90% of the lots, whichever may come first. So, if you could, if you want to just read your response to that one, or just go ahead and address that.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I don't know if there's a formal response in the binder, but that's sort of self-fulfilling, when the time comes that everybody is aware of it and it gets enforced. When we're at that point anyway, we're typically closing out the model and selling the model. So whenever we've been in Berlin Township in the past, that's not been a concern. Brookview was the last model home that we had, and we followed those restrictions.
Okay, thank you. The next item is, model home signs may be approved by the Board of Zoning Appeals, provided they meet the following conditions. The sign shall not exceed 16 square feet per side, 32 square feet, maximum total display area. The overall height of the sign shall be no more than 4 feet above grade. Model home sign shall be located on the same lot as the model home. You do have an exhibit for your signage. And, I would ask the board if they have questions on the signs. I know in the exhibit you have several different signs. Maybe if you could just explain those. It's exhibit number 9.
Yes, so this covers all the signs that will be used in the community as part of Voltage marketing. So there's the entrance sign into the community, then there's the signs are actually noted on the landscape plan as well, the ones that are associated with the model, the location of the signs there. The example where it says Woodside, that's the sign that we're referencing, that's Woodside is the name of the model, the house cut. The signs below that available and sold, those are what we put up during the marketing process as lots are available and then houses sell. And then the other signs are A-frame directionals that get placed and taken down when the model's open. Placed when the model's open, taken down as the model open.
So the wood side sign is the sign that you would be putting in front of the model.
That's correct.
So that would be within the limits of overall height as well as the square feet allowed. Okay. Questions on signage for the model?
I was reading and didn't hear every statement. How are these bigger signs fitting the 4 foot above grade current?
This is a document that represents all the signs that come right from the zoning approval. And so this contains signs that are marketing signs for the community, not associated with the model. So the signs you're asking about are not associated with the model.
I thought I missed it, sorry.
No problem.
So the ones that are used in the model is 3, 4, and 6.
Correct.
And 7. The hour sign.
Yes, so the 4 is actually a small plastic box that has this copy associated with it. That's by the door to the model.
I think it was called out on your landscape too, where those were.
Yes, exactly. And then the hours, the gallery hours will post on the door.
Any other questions that one may have on the application?
Don, there's a number 5 on this one here, just to get this response on record.
On this one?
Yeah, it's not in the zoning.
Sorry, no building equipment or materials may be stored at the model home.
That's essentially a standing rule. So we use the models as sales, as our marketing and our sales showpiece. And so, as a general rule, it's the office for the person trying to sell a house in the community. It can be used as an office for some of the construction manager on site. In this community, we don't plan to do that. We plan to apply for a trailer use lot. But if that were to ever happen where somebody was temporarily using the kitchen, for example, they were sitting at the kitchen table using it for that would be the extent of that. And if they were to carry with them a box or something just because they're in the middle of something, but we don't allow storage of materials that are miles of millennium.
Okay. Thank you. Any other questions for our applicant? The last item we need to discuss is the letter from the fire department. Did you get a copy of this? So I'll give you the opportunity to tell us your side of this first.
So Ross, who was with Pulte as well, reached out to the office of the fire department, spoke to a couple of individuals, explaining our intent and our model and everything involved. We did not receive any restrictions at that time, so this letter is the first opportunity we've had to know that there was any concerns. I will say that whenever we build a model home, there's two things that the fire departments will require, so the fire chief or the fire marshal will require. One is the ability to put the fire out if there's a fire. So we have active fire hydrants in the community. The other is access. The preference is to have the roads installed, but if not, they want to make sure there's clean access to the structure. So a fire truck can get in there, hook up, and put out a fire. If you were to drive there now, you would see that there's quite ample access. You can pull a rig and turn it around, because we do that all the time with the machinery that's there developing the community. So this, you can see by the date, this was just received. And if you go to the community the model's under construction, it has a roof on it, so it's been under construction for a couple weeks now. So we proceeded with construction based on the approvals and permits that we had, understanding that there was no additional permits required from the fire marshal. So Ross reached out to their office today, did not get a call back. He had reached out in an email yesterday stating that he received the letter, and that we were having this meeting, and please provide direction on how you approach, but or how you'd like us to approach it. But noting the fact that we were already under construction, and the fact that we believe the conditions that they typically have concerns about are met. So I don't really know what's the expectation at this point in time. This hearing is really about whether the conditional use is accepted. Now, I know the marshal has a say in that, but as I said, the conditions are met, and I don't know if there's anybody here from your office.
Okay, thank you. Questions from the board? Didn't have a lot of time to prepare for this one because I didn't know about this until I walked in. But in looking at our conditional use requirements here, I really feel like this is outside of the Board of Zoning Appeals. And this is just my opinion, so we can discuss it, but I think we can proceed with a vote on this application. If there's something that the fire department does not feel that you're meeting their requirements, I believe they would have the ability to limit occupancy or use of the model home for another reason. I think what we're trying to accomplish here tonight is just to give you a conditional use. And I would feel the fire department would probably work with them at that point to make sure that all the access requirements are needed when you're actually going to be occupying the building.
So from reading this letter, did you provide like the layout, the schematics of the floors with an exit
There was no.
at the time with, since you already had the floor plan?
Yeah, so I'll defer to Ross if anything I'm saying is not correct, but through the submittal process and dealing with your office and dealing with Kathy, everything that was requested was submitted and verified. So in that process, what sometimes is asked for is a layout of the office. There's not a separate layout. Oftentimes, similar to our Murphy Manor project, oftentimes the garage is used as a sales office. In this case, we're not doing that. We're actually going to use the office within the house as the sales office. So the house plans, the house plans that have been approved for a permit, through zoning and then our permit, inherently already have the office in them. So what we intend to do, is to follow up right away. So we didn't know exactly, how they would approach it this evening, they're not here, so we plan to speak with them directly if they were here, but what we planned to do if they're not here was to send to them tomorrow the house plans and point out the fact that the model already has an office in it, and that's the sales office. The only other comment that Ross received when we reached out to them is that they were not dictating that we had to have a fire extinguisher or an exit sign, but they hadn't recommended it. I know for sure it's our policy that there's a fire extinguisher in the house anyhow. So, we have every intention of following up with the fire marshal and getting past this. And the last thing we want is to have them feel like they need to shut us down for any reason. But I do believe that we're meeting their requirements, and so I think it's more communication than anything else.
Jake, did you talk to the fire department? Do you have any other insight you can provide to
I
us?
have not spoken to them about anything regarding this.
Thoughts from the board? Do we feel like we need to wait on the fire department, or as I said earlier, the way I'm reading it, this is not, does not affect us offering voting yes or no on a conditional use permit this evening.
That's why that sentence confused me. It says we cannot approve the permit. Is that their role in this particular thing? Doesn't look like.
I think the fire department could stop the building, or, because I'm not sure about, has Delco water been installed there yet?
Yeah, the fire hydrants are active.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because they're going to be as concerned about an empty building burning down as an inhabited building. I mean, the sentence that says no building shall begin without the emergency access road installed, etc. That's part of the whole.
What I can tell you from my experience is that is their concern, is regardless of whether it's occupied or not. If you have a fire, they need to put it out. And not only that, they also want to make sure there's access for safety reasons. If somebody gets hurt on a job, they want to be able to get an ambulance.
Right.
So we have both those conditions met today. All of us can drive over at the same time and pull in front of the house because there's a large gravel path from the development process right as soon as you get off of by road. So I don't believe there's any reason that they're going to have any concerns once we we're able to talk to them. But
It almost seems like that would have been more addressed to the initial zoning building permit to start anything, right?
typically that's the case. Typically this is not a conditional use scenario when the fire marshal's involved. It's the initial building permit, that they won't approve the initial building permit unless you get the conditions.
Other questions or comments? Yeah. I'll ask for a motion here in a moment, but I think that we can still accomplish our business here this evening. The request for a conditional use for a model home. As the applicant stated, he's already been through the zoning process, has a zoning permit, I believe, in hand to build this building. So we're really just here tonight to discuss the conditional use. I feel like they've done a very good job in providing us documentation and answering the questions in the conditional use section. So I would ask for a motion from one of the board members for this conditional use application.
I would like to make a motion to approve BZA 23-001 for conditional use permit for model home.
And do I have a second?
I second
Mr. Cook?
Yes.
Mrs. Cook?
it. Yes.
Mr. Harmon?
Yes.
Mr. Mackin?
Yes.
Mr. Sutton?
Yes. Thank you. Your application for BZA 23-001 is approved. Thank you for coming in tonight. We do just have a little bit more business to do here this evening. Lisa has some request, I believe, for another model home. And we're looking at, I believe, Wednesday, May 10th.
Yeah, does that work for everybody?
Does that work for everyone?
And then do the minutes too. I'm fine.
Okay. Lisa, that does work?
Does that work? Okay, all right, I'll get
Let's
set
go
up.
with that. And is that one or two hearings that night?
There's two applications, yeah.
Okay. I would add, Jake, I thought this application was very thorough. You might want to say this one for examples for the future.
The letter was nice.
Yeah.
Did all our homework.
Because and I say that because we've had a couple in the past 2 years where we had to come back for a second meeting. And that doesn't help the applicants and doesn't help, the township. So I do appreciate the thoroughness of your application. I recommend keeping this one in your folder there, Jake. Jake, anything else that you want to add?
No.
Okay. With that, I will call the BZA meeting adjournment, and thank you, everyone. Have a
Did
good
we
evening.
get the minutes? Wait, did we already approve the minutes?
What's that?
Did we approve the minutes already?
Did I?
On the organizational meeting. It wasn't on the.
It's not on the schedule tonight,
Oh,
and I don't see the minutes in here.
did you get them in the email?
Did we?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was just who voted for chairperson, it was
Yeah.
nothing. We can wait till next meeting, I don't
We
know.
can do a motion to approve
Yeah, if you feel
it. Shall, would you like
comfortable.
to make that motion?
A motion to approve the minutes from organizational meeting 2023. It was held on December 13th of 2022.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Ms. Cook, Mrs. Cook,
Yes.
Mr. Mackin,
Yes.
Mr. Cook,
Yes.
Mr. Harmon,
Yes.
Mr. Sutton.
Yes. Thank you. Any other items we need to discuss?
Maybe we should talk to the fire department on the fire department so that if they need something, to have it more in a
Yeah.
timely manner.
I will give,
And to give them a copy of what the conditional use, what we're here to look at today.
I will contact them tomorrow to discuss it. Thank you, everyone, for coming, and I adjourn the BZA meeting.
Future.